What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. This one here was a very unlikely collaboration. I really didn't see this one coming, but when I first got word of it, I got pretty excited about it, not just because of the shoes themselves, not just because of the silhouettes that were chosen, but because of Nike's choice to actually link up with this superstar, which hadn't really been known in the sneaker streetwear fashion world. But the more that I looked into it, the more that I realized she might really be certified. Today we are talking about Billie Eilish. If you guys don't know who Billie Eilish is, you've probably been underneath a rock somewhere. So today we're gonna take a look at the brand new sneaker that she's got coming out with her first collaboration with Jordan brand, talk a little bit about her history, and talk a little bit about what I do and don't like about this shoe. But first, let's start with the packaging. So the first thing that I actually liked about this is the fact that she actually did get her own packaging. Now, the box itself, it's kind of a cheap box. It kind of reminds me of a Jordan 1 mid box as far as like the material and everything like that. But of course, the first thing that you notice here is the Billie Eilish logo with the Jumpman right in the middle of it, right on the lid. Now, on the front of the box, you see the word Billie. On the back of the box, you see the word Eilish. And on the side of the box, you actually see her emblem, her logo, which is called Blosh. It's kind of like a gender neutral, looks like a mix between a male and a female, like on a bathroom sign. That's her logo as well, kind of her calling card. Now, once you flip the top open on that, Jordan brand actually gave her her own paper as well. You see she has her personal tan paper here with that same Billie Eilish Jumpman co-branded logo on the paper as well. So pretty dope. That's pretty much it as far as the packaging goes. Let's take a look at the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan KO 1 by Billie Eilish. Man, you know, this is such a complex sneaker. This is probably gonna take a while for us to get through this whole shoe. There's a lot of elements going on here with the shoe. There's a lot of different things happening with the shoe. So let's just dive straight into it because we got a lot to talk about. All right, now starting with the upper of the shoe here, you have the classic AJKO 1 silhouette here. Nothing different about the silhouette. The materials are a little bit different. We'll talk about that. And of course, the big thing that you're gonna notice is that the sneaker is all green. Everything about this sneaker is green. There is no part of the sneaker that is not green. Literally everything is green. All right, now there's two important things that I do want to talk about this shoe. First of all is the fact that this is 100% vegan leather here. So no actual animal leather was used in the production of this shoe. And the second thing that I want to call out is the fact that this sneaker used at least 20% recycled materials by weight. So this sneaker actually qualifies as a part of Nike and Jordan brand's sustainability project, which Billie herself said that she was really excited about. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here. Again, everything is all green, everything is the same, but I do want to point out the tongue tag here, which also features her Blosh logo. Now you get standard green laces with these, but you also get 3 extra sets of laces here. You get kind of this creamish, kind of yellowish looking set, you get an orange set, and you get this powder blue set as well. So you can kind of set off your shoes and kind of give a pop of color to these all green sneakers with one of these laces. My personal favorite is probably going to be the blue, maybe the orange. I'm interested to kind of see how both of these look. You guys can sound off down below. Let me know which laces you would put in this shoe. Now, as far as the insole of the shoe goes, again, you get the same Billie Eilish Jumpman co-branded logo that you saw on the lid of the box and on the step and repeat on the paper. And if you flip the insole over, you guys will notice that this is some of that recycled material that they talk about, that 20% recycled material. Some of that actually goes into the insole as well. So that's really dope. I like that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the shoe itself. It's an all green Air Jordan 1 KO. Now let's talk a little bit about the sneaker itself, and then let's get into Billie Eilish a little bit more and why I feel like this shoe was a little bit lazy, but I guess it makes sense for the times that we're in. First things first, the AJKO stands for the Air Jordan knockoff. If you guys didn't know, now you know. That's pretty much confirmed what it stands for. The reason why it was called the Air Jordan knockoff was literally because even back in the day, sneakers were starting to become knocked off. Fakes have been around for a very, very long time. But the difference with the fakes back in the day is that a lot of times they didn't even have the same materials that they were able to use on the actual authentic sneakers. And so Nike decided to try to get ahead of the different fakes and the different knockoffs that were out there by making a canvas version of the Air Jordan 1 silhouette with a couple of new details as well and call it the Air Jordan KO or the Air Jordan knockoff, kind of poking fun at the different knockoffs that were already being produced with the different materials and things like that, kind of a different, more boxy shape than the traditional Air Jordan 1 highs that were coming out at that point. So that's pretty much where the AJKO came from. Now, if you guys remember like I do, back in the day, KOs used to sit on the shelves. Nobody was really buying KOs, but with this new re-emergence of resale and everything being super hyped up, now all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I can't even get my hands on a pair of KOs. The Storm Blues just came out, took an L on sneakers. The Chicagos came out, took the L on sneakers. Now apparently everybody wants to buy up KOs. When I used to have a pair of Air Jordan KOs, the Chicago colorway, way back in the day, I think 2013, and I actually got those on sale for about 70 bucks. So times have changed. Nevertheless, here we are with this Air Jordan KO, and Billie herself said in her Behind the Design series on the Sneakers app that she really enjoyed the AJKO because she felt like this silhouette really went with pretty much anything and it looked good with your legs and all that kind of stuff. But her crown jewel, the jewel of her personal collection, was the Air Jordan 15 that recently dropped on her website. Now the 15 has not dropped quite yet on the Sneakers app. We don't have a release date yet on that, but we do have a release date of September the 30th, which is probably the day that this video is going to be coming out of the release of the Air Jordan KO. So best of luck to you if you were able to get the sneaker. Hopefully you were able to secure those, or you were able to secure those very expensive $225 Air Jordan 15s off of her website. But we'll talk about the price in a minute too, because that was kind of high. Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell, that's her real name. She's a 19-year-old singer and songwriter that has exploded on the scene since her official debut back, I believe, around 2015, when she came out with the hit single called Ocean Eyes that was released originally on SoundCloud, and then a couple of other projects, a couple of EPs later, she wound up on a major label and found much success very quickly. How successful can a 19-year-old singer be these days, especially somebody that just came out and is still relatively new on the scene? Well, how about 7 Grammy Awards, 2 American Music Awards, 3 MTV Music Awards, 2 Brit Awards, and a Guinness World Record? Billie Eilish is the voice that I think a lot of people have been missing for quite some time. She reminds me kind of the Alanis Morissette days, where back in the early 2000s, you kind of had that grungy, kind of punky type of sound that was really hot at the time, but it fused with hip hop and had elements of different types of music in it. That's really what Billie's music reminds me of. I feel like if the show Daria was still on TV these days, a lot of the people that watch that show would probably be fans of Billie Eilish. She speaks to an incredibly large demographic that I think has been kind of abandoned for a very long time, and now she's kind of the voice of Generation Z these days, and she's doing some phenomenal things. Now, the dope thing about Billie that I really liked is the fact that she didn't ever try to be anything that she ended up becoming. And what I mean by that is, you wouldn't really think of Billie as a streetwear person or a person in fashion or a person in sneakers, but when you actually take a look, Billie's actually kind of made a name for herself without even trying. What I mean by that is, in an effort for people not to over-sexualize her body or to focus on her body, she started wearing very baggy clothes, but the baggy clothes that she was wearing were very fly. She would wear Gucci outfits or things like that, and most recently for the Met Gala, she actually wore an incredible Oscar de la Renta dress that actually had a lot of people at the top of their best dressed list. So Billie Eilish has actually been making a name for herself in fashion for quite some time now. Now, how did we get here with Jordan Brand, you may ask? How in the world did this girl that may or may not actually fit the demographic of somebody that you would think to get not 1 but 2 Jordan models, how in the world did this happen? Well, let's go back to 2018 a little bit, because this isn't Billie's first time being introduced to the brand. Back in 2018, you guys may remember that Billie Eilish actually did a feature on the air.jordan.com website for actually debuting the Air Jordan 1 Explorer XX and the Air Jordan 3 Bordeaux while over in Paris doing a panel alongside Russell Westbrook and Don C. Now, during that time, she actually talked about her love for Jordan Brand, her love for Nike, and the fact that her introduction to Jordans, which kind of shows her age, was actually a song by a popular reality television show star named Riff Raff. The song was called Tiptoeing in My Jordans, and if you guys remember that song, as crazy and kind of ridiculous as it was, it went very viral, and that actually was Billie's first introduction to Air Jordans as a whole. But once she got introduced to them, she went to a store, she said she found a pair of red Jordan 4s and immediately wanted them. Now, fast forward a little bit, she also said in her Behind the Design that her favorite silhouette of Jordans was the Air Jordan 15. Now, she also said that on an episode of Sneaker Shopping on Complex. If you guys remember with Joe LaPuma, she actually was on that show a little while ago, and she talked about her love for the 15s. She talked about her love for a lot of different Jordan models. So Billie has actually been on with Jordan Brand, kind of signed on kind of loosely with Jordan Brand, doing promotion for Jordan Brand for the last 3 years. A lot of us just probably didn't pay that much attention to it unless you're a real Billie Eilish fan. Not only that, but if you guys actually see her Bad Guy video, you'll notice that there's actually a couple of sneaker moments that she has in that video as well. She's wearing a couple of pairs of Jordan 4s, one of my favorites that I actually like, with the red Jordan 4s with the black tongue tag with the gum bottom on the scene where she's riding the street. Very fly pair of sneakers. Not only that, but you guys may also remember that she was answering some fan questions on her Instagram a little while back, and somebody asked her about the infamous "what color is this dress" fiasco, and she actually created another viral moment with a pair of up-tempos where she asked people were the colors of the up-tempos like gray and pink, or pink and mint, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the colors were. I think it was pink and green or something like that, but she actually went pretty viral just off of a pair of up-tempos on a pair of Pippins. So she's actually had a couple of moments in sneakers for herself. Now, for those of you guys who are wondering why these shoes are green, to me it's for 2 reasons. Number one, if you watch her sneaker shopping episode, you'll notice that a lot of her favorite pairs of Jordans that she talked about were also green. She picked up the Ghost Green Jordan 312s, I believe. She also picked up the green Gatorade Air Jordan 1s, which were a fly pair of sneakers if you ask my opinion. But not to mention, she also had green hair. Her signature hair back when she really got popping, when she really got on, it was green, mainly green with a little bit of black underneath it. So what she said was that this shoe, the one, actually kind of represented kind of an homage to who she used to be, who she was when she came into the industry, that green hair that she used to have where she started out from. And then now in her Air Jordan 15, it's a more muted kind of tan color, or brown color, which more so represents her hair color. Now she's kind of gone back to her natural blonde color, and not to mention it also represents kind of where she's heading in her career as well. So you have homage to the past with the Air Jordan 1, and then you have the present and the future with her Air Jordan 15. And so that's kind of the storytelling behind these two models. But if you want my opinion, it's just lazy. And this is the part of the video where I just gotta keep it a buck with you guys, because again, y'all are the family. This is one of the laziest sneakers that I've seen of 2021. I mean, literally all they did was just take an Air Jordan 1 KO, they put some vegan leather on it, and they made it green. They made literally the whole sneaker green. And to me, it just felt like they could have done something a lot more creative with the shoe. It just felt like they could have done something a little bit more with the shoe. Maybe incorporated a little bit of black with the shoe. Maybe incorporated something from whatever hit singles in the shoe or something. I mean, I appreciate the laces, but let's be real. These laces kind of look like leftovers either from the prototype Jordan 1s or those Jordan 1 low SBs that came out a little while ago. So I don't really know. I mean, I get the point of the shoe, but it's just not completely doing it for me. In terms of creativity, I appreciate the story, but I just feel like they could have done a lot more. And for somebody as creative as Billie Eilish, I don't really understand why more wasn't put into it, but it is what it is. Now, on top of that, I think one thing that also kind of grinds my gears a little bit is the fact that the sneaker, the 15 for that matter, was $225. That's a very expensive price tag, and I actually asked a lot of the women that I know on Twitter and other social media platforms how they felt about that price. And I want you guys to sound off and let me know how you guys feel about the $225 price tag on those 15s. I mean, the Air Jordan 1 KO was $170, and that's about what you would expect from an Air Jordan 1, but to me, 170 was still a little bit high, but it definitely is a lot better than $225. The last point that I'll make about these is, like I mentioned, you wouldn't really think of Billie Eilish really being somebody that is a huge sneakerhead. She's more so somebody that is a figure in sneakers, that likes to wear certain sneakers. But it's just interesting because I feel like if we weren't where we are currently with the resale culture, these sneakers probably would not have the kind of demand on them that they have right now, because I really don't see her fan base really being huge sneakerheads like that, especially being willing to pay upwards of $225 for their favorite artist shoe. I mean, she has some big fans, she has a very large fan base, but I think that they might be a little price sensitive to this. But because of where we are, obviously all the botters, all the resellers, and all those people had to grab up this shoe and try to resell them for crazy dollars on the market. But I'm interested to see where this one goes, because like I mentioned, unless you're a huge fan of Billie Eilish or you just like the sneaker in and of itself, I'm not quite sure how these are going to perform on the market, but I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. I'll give these sneakers a B, not a B plus, not a B minus. I'll give the collection a B for now. It's a solid effort from an incredibly talented artist that actually does have a love for sneakers, even if it wasn't the most pronounced thing that she always talked about on outlets. She's put in some work with Jordan Brand, she's done some really dope things, and now she's been lucky enough to get her own collection and her own collaboration with Jordan Brand. So hats off to Billie Eilish for what she's doing. I'm excited to see what's to come. I'm excited to see if she gets any more work with Jordan Brand or another signature with Jordan Brand. And I really do appreciate the fact that she took two less popular models, the Air Jordan KO and the Air Jordan 15, two models that you wouldn't really think that a collaborator would want to jump in on, but in her own words, these are sneakers that aren't the most popular and she doesn't care. And that's kind of her whole ethos. That's her whole attitude, is that she doesn't care. She likes what she likes. But it's that rebellion that again takes me back to those early 2000s when the rebellious thing was the hot thing to do. And it looks like history is kind of repeating itself this time in Billie Eilish. All right, guys, listen, that's all that I got to say about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Billie Eilish Air Jordan KO 1 or the Air Jordan 15. Are you guys liking them? Are you guys not liking them? Are these a hard pass? How do you guys feel about the price point? Sound off down below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan KO 1 by Billie Eilish, and until next time, I'm out.